What is up, you plebs? What is up, TAG participants? My name is YourTotalWarMaster, and I am very happy and eager to announce the map and factions for the semi-final of this tag tournament. And I think the best thing is to just go straight into it. We have Sparta, who's going to be a faction for team number 3. And it has over here, we have 2 settlements down in North Africa, and then we have, of course, some Greek settlements over here. It's a pretty cool looking faction, if you ask me. So I don't know, looks kind of interesting. Pairing up with them in team 3 is going to be Egypt. We have over here Memphis, Mendes, Pelusium, and Naucratis. I think Egypt is also relatively strong. Now, what is, I think, kind of different for Team 3 is that they are slightly like in a sandwich. They are here in between. But I think it's still balanced out very nicely, so it shouldn't be a problem at all. After this we have Syracuse, which is for team number 1. It basically holds southern Italy, well, at least most of it, and it also has Tripoli over here. It's going to be paired up with Thrace, who is of course kind of on the other side of the map to some extent. We have some settlements over here like Seuthopolis, Stara Zagora, Orestias, Mesembria, Tomis, yeah. So it's basically modern day. What's this? Is it Romania? Or is it Bulgaria? I don't know. I'm bad at this. I mix those two countries, like where exactly they lie. Which one is higher and which one is lower. But I think it's Romania, right? Romania is the southern one. Anyways, after this we have Satrapy of Lydia, which is for team number 2. It is kinda, you know, like the Turks basically, in Medieval 2 for example, but of course these guys are not exactly the Turks. They have some Eastern levies, the Pajama warriors. You'll have to see it. And they're gonna be paired up with Satrapy of Cilicia, or Kilikia. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I would say probably Cilicia, but as I said, I'm not 100% sure. It basically has these regions over here of Tarsus, Aleppo, Komana, Adma, and I think, yeah, one more, Anamur. So these are the factions and the teams that are gonna be in this semi-final. So let me sum up again. Team 1 is going to be Syracuse and Thracia. The numbers might be a bit different. Anyways, Team 2 is Satrapy of Lydia and Cilicia. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. And Team 3 is Sparta and Egypt. You know, just which team is 1, 2, 3 doesn't really matter at the moment. But those are the teams together. Now the hot seat will last 20 turns unless the winner is clear sooner. All teams must fight properly till the end, despite the defeat possibly being unavoidable. Basically until the team is declared. There's no alliances with other teams. Passwords in the team must be shared, and you have to PM the whole next team that it's their turn. You have 24 hours to play, 48 per team. 2-strike rule when it comes to team being late. If you're late 2 times with no warning, word, or reason, you'll be kicked. The western corner of the map is actually out of bounds. Nobody may enter these regions during the entirety of the hot seat, and there's no you can't allow any invasions, because I think these settlements over here have like a pope mechanic and stuff like that, but that's all not allowed. There are no exploits or bugs, no posting defeats, making walls of units on the map to disallow enemy agents to move, and stumping enemy agents with units, surrounding armies or navies to deny retreat, intentionally spreading the plague, stepping on a merchant to remove him from a trade resource, exploiting AI factions, and so on and so on. You're not allowed to give money to your other faction if you're bankrupt. And the full list of exploits we have, like this PDF file, the docs file that, you know, everything is pretty much there. We have military rules that you cannot attack enemy lands of opponent team if they have not played their turn. You can, however, cross lands of theirs during the first turn if your army doesn't stand in the enemy territory after it has finished movement. You can enter your allies' lands on turn 1. It means, for example, during the first turn, Gardner cannot attack Lannister. This is for the previous round, which those two factions were used. All battles are auto-resolved. Screenshot may be posted with odds and result screens with mouse over the odds bar to show the ratio. The armies involved with their banners must be visible on the campaign map. Units cards of siege units must also be visible. It's not needed against AI. Armies that are defeated in a battle by a player that comes after them in the turn list may not move the following turn. This is to make it fair, basically, so it's a turn thing, but where someone has an advantage and you're just making that so it's fair. Armies standing in the settlement fort when defeated are excluded from this rule. After this we have 2 forts per region per team, and forts need to have a garrison of at least 5 units. You're not allowed to build forts only in the enemy. You're only allowed to build forts in the regions you own. So no funding in enemy lands at all. Ships cannot leave blockaded ports. It's not allowed to keep units protected by placing them in ships docked in a port. It is allowed to block ports via ground troops, at least units per ship required. Not allowed to besiege a settlement, denies garrison participation in the battle. You're not allowed to besiege a settlement to deny enemy retreat into it. You're not allowed to build watchtowers. Heroic victories are 100% banned and illegal. If you get a heroic victory, contact an admin and we may allow it if, you know, certain circumstances are like that. Bribe units, agents can't move for 1 turn, as bribe generals are also counted. Generals stolen by a princess. No ransoming. You're not allowed to lure an ambushing army a tile closer, for example, to bring it in range for more of your forces. Siege engines are allowed. Each unit of siege equipment can be used just once in each turn to take a settlement. Ballistas can assault wooden walls and forts. Catapults can also assault basic stone walls, but not large or huge stone walls. We have some agents rules, which is that spies are not allowed to open gates on players unless it's 60%. For large or huge settlements, it's 80%. Chances of entering into the settlement. If a spy has been in city for several turns, you'll have to leave the settlement and enter it again. If inside the settlement it is at least 1,200 soldiers, 720 for large and huge settlements, then spy may not open the gates anyway. Screenshot must be provided. Assassins cannot sabotage and are not allowed to kill family members or generals. They need at least 60% to kill other agents. For enemies, assassins, spies, just 30% is required. Again, screenshots. Princess must have over 30% odds of success in order to steal a general. Pictures must be posted as proof of these odds. However, if the stealing of a general leads to a bug, such as that a besieging army lifts the siege, then it would not be allowed. Merchants need 60% to acquire their other merchants' assets, only allowed in your own regions. Rebel-controlled regions or regions that you have acquired trade rights to, screenshots required. You're not allowed to put agents that can't be bribed into forts, princesses, or priests. We have some settlements rules as well. Destruction of buildings is not allowed. Only exceptions are churches of foreign religion. Settlements gifted to your team should disband all units, at least except 1. No gifting regions in a war zone. This is basically all the rules, and there are of course a few other things that ought to be mentioned. For example, that it'll be taking about 2 weeks that we actually test this properly to be 100% sure that it is balanced. This will be on Total War Center, so it will not be on the Hotseat hub. As said, there's a papal mechanic for Lydia and Cilicia. I'm sorry, this is Cilicia. This is just, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's really bad. Of course, you can't use it. And this mod only has cities, no castles, which is, you know, I think kind of interesting as well. Closer to Rome 1, I suppose. All the other AI factions are freezed, so they are totally inactive. AI factions that were not inside the map were destroyed. And yeah, that is pretty much it, I think. I think it's gonna be a very, very exciting semi-final. I'm not sure which is the best team to get. I kinda like the team of Syracuse and Thrace, just looking at the map. But of course, you know, the balancing goes really deep, so there's, you know, a lot of things to actually think about. I like the Spartan units though; they look pretty freaking epic. And I like everything. Like this looks, I think, like Rome 1. I think the sprites are taken from Rome 1. I think, at least I think so. This is basically like, you know, Rome 1 on steroids for Medieval 2. I think. It looks pretty good. Of course, we can't see anything else around here, and the western part of the map is banned anyways. I will show you the picture of the map also in a second. This as well is the map border, so when I was talking about that the western part is banned from entering, you know, this is all the stuff that it's actually not allowed, that you're not allowed to go. So I think strong point of everyone except Sparta and Egypt is that they kind of are to some extent in border, at the border, so they have like a clear back. Of course, you know, these guys from south, they can't get attacked, but I think like they're still kind of in the middle. So I don't know. I like the map. I think it's very exciting, and good luck to all the participants. I hope it goes well. And yeah, till next time, fuck off.